What up guys, Bricks5D here, and I'm coming to you with a new series on the channel. It will be on a different playlist called the Doom Tower bosses. So yes, this is a series where I attempt to beat the Doom Tower bosses. I'm starting with hard and we might go to normal maybe in this same rotation of videos. So this rotation started with rotation 1 and I waited for rotation 1 because it's one of the easiest rotations to beat out of all the other 3 rotations of the Doom Tower hard bosses. If you don't know my account that I'm playing from, this is my main account. This is the account that I've been over a year old. I'm 100% free to play and I have a lot of useful resources in terms of champions and experience in the game. So I wanted to start this Doom Tower series just to show how I beat the bosses at every level. And I've never really completed Doom Tower hard. If you've done your clan boss, you've done Ultra Nightmare, you've beat the the faction war, I've completed all faction war, you got your Lydia, you know the next piece of content in your way is Doom Tower. And it's not just normal. Doom Tower normal is easy to complete for an older player. For Doom Tower hard is the next challenge because it requires you to build a bunch of champions differently. It requires to, use your head, go through the bosses and find out different ways to beat them. High resist, high accuracy and all that. I never really had the time to do it, but right now I want to do it. So make sure you like and subscribe so you know when I update new videos about this Doom Tower series on the channel. We will start with the easiest one, the Magma Dragon of floor 10. You don't need any special skills or knowledge to beat this one. Just come in here with damage and take it down. This is floor 10. But as we go ahead, we will begin to slow down and think hard about these bosses. How do we do that? When you come to a difficult boss, you don't just go in there with random champions and try to beat it. Go to the boss guide first. That's what I recommend. Read the boss skills. It tells you what the boss is weak to and what it's powerful against. So what you can bring in here. Right now it's telling us that HP burn wouldn't work on this boss. He will just change an HP burn to a heal. That's on a passive effect. I don't know on what cooldown this is. Instantly removes any HP burn debuffs placed on Magma Dragon and replaces them with 15% continuous heal for 2 turns. So if you do not want to be healing this boss for 2 turns, don't place HP burn on him. A lot of people bring in their Drexstar here. They're thinking, where is the boss getting heals from? Your Drexstar is giving him the heals. But I know what I use. I place the HP burn and I steal the heal from him. So we'll take a look at that. It shows you what he's immune to through fear and all that. He's weak to provoke. This is one of the bosses in the Doom Tower that you can provoke. So remember that. And when you provoke a boss, he doesn't use all his other skills. He has to use his A1. So that is so awesome that you can provoke this boss. So provoke works awesome on him. I didn't just find that out. I found it here also. Say Kuldath is extremely deadly, able to use hex debuffs to ignore your champion's defense. So if you use champions that cleanse, he will place a 4-turn hex on that champion that did the cleanse. If you cleanse yourself from his X. If you let him, that is Kuldath, the Magma Dragon, isn't immune to provoke debuffs. Bring your toughest provoke champions and he will forget all his other powers. If you don't have any provoke champions that are tough enough, you can equip champion with a taunting artifact set so they get the job done. So if you don't have a provoke champion, the taunting set in the game has the ability to provoke on a 40% chance or so. We all have provoke champions by now if you've been playing a long time and then you're coming to the hard. So let's get right into it. But before we do, let's see the teams that people are using also. You can see what other champions, other players in the game are using, but it usually shows us a lot of legendaries. So instead of checking here, check your best teams. You might see the teams that your clan mates are using to beat it. So this is mine. I already beat it. I'm the first one here with only 30 turns taken. And people are using a bunch of other champions, legendaries champions to beat it. So this is floor 10. Anything goes. As you go higher in the other floors, you see specific champions that people are using. Global ranking, everybody uses legendary champions to beat it. So make sure you bring all your best legendaries that can do. I'm seeing a pattern here. A lot of long beard and Farrakhan the Fat. Farrakhan the Fat and long beard. So it's a lot of people are using all ally attack. That's what I'm seeing right now in the global ranking. So let's get right into the beating this boss because these videos will be short. In this first video you're watching right now, I'm going to beat floor 10, floor 20 and floor 30 bosses because they are kind of easy. So in tomorrow's upload, I'll upload the next boss also so we can beat the Doom Tower, all bosses completely and see when we need to build special champions for it. So I think I've explained enough about why this series started and why you should subscribe and watch it along the way. I'm coming to you with a different setup today because I lost power at the office. So I decided not to let today pass without uploading. So let's get right into it. So originally, a lot of people will prefer to use standard themes like let me not go through all whale account type. I'm talking about Seal, War Maiden, maybe Brogni if you do the fusion. He is essential for his resist in the Doom Tower. So you might want him as your lead. And I'm not going to say Drexter because that's a bad idea, because we're trying to stay away from using bonds on this boss. If you have Geomancer too, that's not a good idea. If you want to cleanse what the boss is placing on you, but she will get the hex instead. Counter attack is also awesome. If you want to bring a counter attack, whenever the boss hits you, you hit back. If you don't have an all ally attack, that's an also awesome option. So I'm just going through the list so I can see what is awesome. I'm looking for decreased defense. You can't use Stagnite here, obviously, it's negative affinity. So Duke the Pierce or Tyrell, those are the 2 decreased defense, and War Maiden, 3 decreased defense I would suggest you bring in here. You need a decreased attack also because the boss hits really hard. So find somebody who has a decreased attack, and I think Duke the Pierce has one. Or if you want to bring in, instead of Duke the Pierce, or I do like this. This is also an awesome comp. So whatever mix, match, find out what works for you for that particular boss and beat it. And it might not work for the next difficult boss than him. You might need to reset your champions or whatever. So let's try to beat it with a more realistic team rather than my pay to win legendary teams that I was showing on the screen earlier. So with resist, hopefully the hex and the bonds will not land on us too much. The waves are nothing to worry about for the beginning stages. They are kind of easy. And if you do not know how many HP and resist and all that to bring in here, I'll recommend you head over to Hellhade's website and click on the Raid Shadow Legends and check Raid Stages 2. This tells you exactly how much HP, how much defense, how much resistance, how much accuracy you need to beat this boss. So currently I searched for boss 30 on floor 30 on hard, and it's telling me the Scarab resistance 150, accuracy 150, and I need 255 and I need 175 resistance and accuracy to beat it. But we would beat the Scarab in a different way. I just decided to check this first because it's a very useful resource. We'll need to know some teams that we might want to build resistance, and among the accuracy we need to beat the boss. So we're currently at the boss. See, I placed HP bond from Brogni. He changed it to a heal. So I forgot that Brogni has heal. Let me slow this down. Doom Priest is cleansing. When she cleanses, she gets the hex on her. So she will be expendable because the boss now will target her. I didn't bring a provoke. If I brought a provoke, you would have seen the provoke on him right now. Let's see his skills. Ignore defense. He ignored her defense because of the hex. But with Brogni doing his shield, see, she tried to cleanse the hex. He's placing another hex for 4 turns. So he doesn't like his debuff being cleansed. Now the hex is back on Brogni. Now he's back on Doom Priest. So this hex for difficult stages will be bad for you if your weaker champions get it. So I just wanted to point that one out there. So did I place decreased defense and decreased attack? Yes. A good champion you might want to bring here is Razen, because he has a weaken. Remember, any boss that has a weaken on him will not just decrease defense, will go down even faster. So let's beat this boss quick. He healed. So nah. I'm not doing this right now. End this battle. That heal, that HP bond will be bad. So Brogni is placing HP bond on the A1. Let's rethink our strategy and come back again. So I'm going to bring in poisons. And I'm going to bring in my provoke. That's a provoke. And I'm also going to bring in, not a cleanser, decrease defense and weaken on Razen. Increase attack because I want to beat him fast on, what's her name? Arbiter. And what other skill do I need now? Decrease attack. I need decrease attack from somebody, this champion. Because Brogni block debuffs is also awesome. I don't need Seal the Drake. I have a revive here in case anybody goes down for the difficult stages. Nobody's going to go down in this easy stage. So let's try this again. Decrease defense. Who is going to do my damage? Xavier is going to do the damage. Provoke. All right, let's go. If I have a provoke, I don't even need decrease attack, right? Let me bring in more damage. More poisons. Let me bring in more damage so we can do it faster. So we learned our lesson. Don't bring in HP burn here. He will change it to a heal. I never really had that problem before because I used another champion who steals the heal. I didn't set any preset for the skills, so they'll use whatever the skills, but if you do it on manual, you can save your skills for the bosses. And let's see if with the provoke on the boss, he will only attack my war chief. I'll be war priest. I forgot his name. Weaken has been placed. Decrease defense was a weak hit. Decrease attack, decrease defense. So yes, he's only going to attack that dude. And that guy's resist is high. So with this, the boss doesn't use all his other big hits and all that. So provoke is what works here. I'm waiting for that Xavier explosion. Boom. You can't really explode him too much because of the passive that he's immune to those high amount of damages at a time. More poisons. So yeah, that's floor 10 on what's his name? Dragon. I call him the Magma Dragon or something. But when we face this boss again at higher levels, we'll try again to see if this same team we used in this first video will work. If it doesn't work, we'll now reconsider, bringing some other units. But hey, remember, War Maiden, Duke de Pierce, Razin, not Drexstar, Poisonous work here awesome, and Provoke, of course. That's the strategy. Let's head over to the next boss, who is the Spider. What's her name? This is Magma Dragon. The next boss that I wanted to cover in this video is on floor 20 is the Nether Spider. Now, let's again remember that the boss guide is what we need to find out what this boss does. Attacks all enemies, places 5% debuff, poison debuff on all 4 poisons on all enemies. Yes, so she immediately the turn starts on her A1, she places 4 poisons on us. We'll repeat the attack 1 time for each spiderling without any active buff. Basically, she just places a bunch of poison. Let's not waste too much time. We all know what she does. Poisons, poisons, poisons once you walk into the battle. On these skills, counter attack buff on all spiderlings. Yes, she places counter attack. Whenever you attack the spiderlings, they place more poisons on you. Agreth will attack this with this skill at the beginning of the round. Agreth can have a maximum of 4 spiderlings at any time. Yes, she will have 4. Counter attacks whenever an enemy decreases Agreth's turn meter. So yes, we need to understand that turn meter decreases is not okay for this boss. Don't bring in champions that decrease the turn meter. But if you have it in your masteries already, you have a bad day in this boss, especially at the higher levels. The damage inflicted is equal to the amount of turn meter lost. She will ignore 100% of your defense. Damn. So if you bring a cold heart, do your 100% turn meter decrease. Remember, your cold heart will go down. Just an example. Nobody uses cold hearts on this boss. So on another passive, she attacks all enemies at the start of each turn, deals damage from all poisons. So if you do not cleanse the poisons that she places on you, and then she uses this, you're done. She's immune to freezes. She's immune to provokes. So we know that right now. No fear, no... What else again? Now let's see the tip, how it works. It is crucial to make sure that the spiderlings never counter attack or get a turn. So bringing champions with AoE stun or freeze will help you defeat the boss. So at the earlier stages, we don't even need to bother about this AoE stun and freeze, but at the later stage we will freeze them and we will stun them. Seal the Drake is one I can think of. Seal the Drake is awesome. Agreth is an interesting challenge. Spiderlings counter attack will heal Agreth, so when they counter attack they will heal her. So don't just go with your A1 and hit the spiderlings. It's not necessary. Don't touch them, just focus only on the boss. There is also a risk to bring champions that reduce stun meter, but with enough protection, the healing, the risk is worth it. So if you have your, let's say your, what's her name now, what's her name again? Seal the Drake. If you have your Seal the Drake in this battle, she has a A1 that decreases stun meter sometimes. You risk decreasing the stun meter of the boss and getting a hit, while you also need her for her heals, her revives and all that. So sometimes it's worth having a champion like this, even though you know her A1 has a stun meter decrease that you really don't want. So I have a high resist champion here again in this leader slot. I have HP burn champion right here. Drextar is the king here. Remember, this is a poison boss. So initially when I started fighting the boss, I brought people that did cleanse. And the best and new player friendly cleansing champion we know in the game. New player friendly. Where is she? Is she in the vault? Because she has not been used in a long time. Let me know if you know what I'm looking for. I have her in the vault. She has not been used for a long time. The best new B player cleansing champion I know is, come on, she's a level 60 in my account. Don't I know her picture again? There she is. Yes, this is the best. I used to run like this. So with these two champions in your team, there is no poison that will stick to you. So for this easier boss run, let me not use bigger champions. Let me use the basic ones that a lot of players might have. And we have our Seal the Drake over here. And then who does the damage? Drextar, Brogni. So this is the team we're going to use for Nether Spider. HP burn works wonderful here. If you can stun them, fine. But if you don't want to stun them, just go with your A1s only on the boss and finish the run. While these two are doing the cleanse and all that. So I'll rely on this Drextar to do the beating for me and win this battle. Let's get right into the run so we don't make this video too long. We still have one more boss to go. Hopefully these guides help you, especially if you're new to Doom Tower Hard just like me. We've been chilling with Doom Tower Normal, Rotation 1, Rotation 2, Rotation 3, Rotation 1. We just kept completing Doom Tower Normal because we found out that the resources you get from those 3-star chickens, 4-star chickens, they are awesome. But guess what? The resources in Doom Tower Hard is even more awesome because if I can get to floor 50, floor 80, floor 70, I've gotten a lot of books, a lot of chickens, a lot of gems. That's why I usually finish normal, come to hard, and then end up at halfway. I can't go above it because it requires special builds, special charms, and special time to spend to do it. So we're going to attempt to do that right now in this series. Hope you guys like it. And they have unkillable. All right. I didn't know that existed here. I guess it's time for me to manual so I don't have my skills on cooldown. I have my, what's her name, Doom Priest in a relentless set. So she will be cleansing more than once. Trust me. So, come on. What kind of cancer is this? You're killing one person, another person is reviving. See, the Drake has a stun set. Can you stun this one so it doesn't revive somebody else? Die. If you dare revive somebody, okay, I thought he was gonna do it. All right, we're at the boss. Let's do on a slow 1 turn speed so we see exactly what is happening on a slow speed. She places 4 poisons. No, she places 1. They are placing 4 poisons. And now this is where Drextar is awesome. If you're not getting your Drextar daily in the Bazaar of 3v3 Arena, get it. Immediately they attacked me. Check out what happened. All of them got a HP burn on them. So the HP burn is what is going to do the damage to this boss while we all do our A1s on the boss. We're not going to touch any of the spiderlings because they will counter attack and heal the boss. when they take their turn normally, they do not heal the boss. But when you hit them and they counter attack, they heal the boss. You might want to say stun. What if your stun doesn't land on all of them? Guess what? Boss gets a heal. So I'll not try to stun them. I'll just focus the boss and do my A1s only. He resisted it. Cleanse. What's her name now? Reliquary Tender. I'm waiting for you to do your cleanse. Phew. Awesome champion. Awesome champion. So you need a cleanser like that that is ready to do the cleanse anytime you have all those poisons on you. So it's time for us to put it in 2x speed. Let's get done with this run. Doom Priest is doing a 2-ton, 3-ton with Relentless set. Cleanse is also, because Reliquary Tender will not always have hers on available. She also has a decreased attack on her A1 if you have enough accuracy on her to land it. So one of the Spiderlings take a turn yet? No, that's the boss that took a turn. HP Bond did a huge hit. Let's see the Spiderlings take a turn now. One of them did. I didn't see the bond for that one though. I'm looking at the bar poison. I'm looking at the boss bar to see when the HP bond ticks. That's one. One just tick right there. Another one just tick. So yeah, the poison is doing a lot of damage. Another one just tick. So I would like the Spiderlings to take numerous turns so they can keep killing themselves with that HP bond ticks. I didn't bring decreased defense in here, else I would have been doing more damage to the boss with my A1 hits, right? Yes, that would have been a good idea. But I needed Brogni for make the run secure and give me a little bit of a higher resist. Else I would have brought him in here. Or maybe I didn't even need Seal the Drake, but she is there because of a revive, but Reliquary Tender already has a revive. So a decreased defense might have taken Seal the Drake's spot. But she places that speed on my champions, which is kind of useful sometimes. And those passive heals also. That's a small version of the decreased attack on the boss. Come on, let's go. This is not a team I used to beat it. I came here with a more powerful team and beat it. But just to make it secure and useful to early beginner players who don't have all the best legendary champions, I decided to use a more attainable team. Drexter is attainable. Brogni is not that attainable, but hey, your resist champion who can be in the leader slot, because if you can resist some of these poisons, you might be in a safer slot if you're not able to cleanse them. Where did you get Ally Protect from? I guess that's a skill that we did not read. All right, this is going a little bit slower than I expected, but 5 minutes in and we're still here because the Spiderlings are not taking enough turns to burn, I guess, and I did bring decreased defense in here. Come on, let's go. With Doom Tower bosses, it doesn't matter how long the run takes, whether it takes 5 minutes, whether it takes 10 minutes, whether it takes you 20 minutes to complete it. As long as your champions can do it, let it run. Go watch a YouTube video, just start it and walk away. And remember, you always have to beat these bosses 5 times a day to complete your advanced quest. So if you have a boss that you have to beat 5 times, 10 minutes each, dude, I try to do those ones in the morning. Once I get to the office, just start it and leave the computer open and then let it run and complete. Because if you wait till the end of the day, you might not complete your advanced quest. They take a lot of time. So get those ones that take a lot of time done early. Or sometimes you might just go to normal and complete it. You know, beat the normal boss 5 times. just make sure you get your advanced quest. That energy is important. Don't say, because it's Doom Tower hard, I'm not going to spend 10 minutes on a boss. Although you might not even need the gear from this boss. Go run 5 times on hard and clear that advanced quest. That's important for we free-to-play players. Anywhere we see energy, it's an advantage. We don't like to let it waste. So we try to get every piece of energy from every piece of content that is available to us, without trying to be a completionist or anything. It's just an efficient way of playing the game, I guess. So that's a tip. If you don't want to sit through 10 minutes runs per battles, go run the simple one on normal and clear it before reset hits. And we are done with this boss. What's the name? I always forget their names. The other one is Magma Dragon. I think this is Nether Spider. Yes, I got the name right now. Nether Spider. So Drexter is the MVP in this battle. Reliquary Tender is also the MVP. Without these 2 champions in this team, the run will be a little bit more dicey. So if you have your I got an awesome one. This is great, a legendary one. So the materials you need for the forge, pick them up here. Spend all your keys on them. And finally, for the last boss fights, let me pause my video and come back to you. Alright, for the third boss fight for this video is the Scarab King, and this is my most easiest boss to beat. I'll tell you why. Let's quickly check out this boss guide again and know what he does. The best thing I remember about this boss from other rotation is you need a shield. A champion that can place shield on your team. Without a shield on your champions at all time, when you attack this boss, he will counter attack. Let's read the skills and see what it actually does. Decreases the damage received according to how much Borgoth's max HP has been decreased by. So he has a shield upon his own health. So if you don't take down that shield, you can't actually touch his main HP. That's one thing you should also note. So his max HP is reduced. On this passive, counter attacks when attacked by an enemy that has no shield. This is what I'm talking about. This is what gets most players in this battle killed. If you attack this boss without a shield, he will counter attack. And guess what he does on this counter attack? On this A1, he places decreased attack, he places decreased speed, places an extra hit on enemies that have no shield. The extra hit places provoke. So imagine you hit him without a shield, he hits you with decreased attack and decreased speed, and then places provoke on you. That means you will have to hit him again next time without a shield because you're provoked. So that's what he does on that A1. He's immune to provoke, block, active skills, fear, true fear, and all that. You can place slow speed on him. It's important you bring Seal the Drake in this one for slow speed. You can also bring in High Cartoon, has a slow speed on our A1. This boss is a force affinity boss, so Seal the Drake might not be able to land her decreased speed on him because of negative affinity. So that's why you see me bringing spirit champions in here, because they are all positive affinity. Now the main MVP in this battle, a lot of people will agree with me that it is Lodric Falconheart. This champion has an awesome shield right here for 2 turns with a 2-turn cooldown. So he has it on all the time. Another champion you can use in these earlier stages, especially maybe for the normal version of this, is Meta Shaper. I might show you in the index later, but Meta Shaper is an awesome champion. I don't have him in my list, but let's quickly go and let's see if we can locate him in the index so you know who I'm talking about. If you have that champion, he's a champion worth taking to 50. Well, if you're going to be beating hard bosses, you might need to take him to 60 for him to unlock all his abilities and maybe survive longer. I don't know if that's something you want to do. I don't know how he performs on 50 or 60. I think he's a lizard man. And he's a rare champion. Metal Shaper right there. This is the skill that does it. Where is it? Places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also on a 2-turn cooldown. So he has the same thing as Lodric Falcon had 2-turn shields. Then if you're a whale or if you're a player who have been playing it for a long time, you have your miscreated monster has a shield for 3 turns. And we'll do what's her name again? People bring in Duchess. A lot of people who have shield. Any champion who has shield, bring them in here. Also, I like to put in Borgoth also has a shield, but he's on a normal low cooldown. You might miss one turn. He cannot be your main shield provider. He can be a secondary shielder here. So now that we know shield is important, the next thing you need to know about this boss is that because he has a shield on himself, you need to decrease his max HP to reduce that shield. How do you decrease boss's max HP? Two ways: by bringing champions that have decreased enemy max HP on their abilities, or you bring in an artifact that has decreased enemy max HP on its set. So what I'm talking about for decreased enemy max HP is this artifact set. I saw somebody the other day trying to beat this boss without this set. I'm like, what are you doing? The boss takes no damage, literally it's little or no damage without this set. So you can put 1 or 2 champions in your team on this set. So let me scroll to the set so you know where it is on the list. Decreased enemy max HP is called a destroy set. Yes, that's the name I was trying to remember. Where is it? Destroy set. And I have a lot of it. Before the Doom Tower, I didn't used to save this set. It was kind of those useless sets we always sell, just like the sleep set or like frenzy set. But when Doom Tower came up, I started saving a lot of this set. You can see how much I have, just like my speed set. I don't even need this much. You just need 1 or 2 players to have it on them. But because they're kind of being used on Doom Tower higher stages, I started keeping a lot of them that had good rolls and all that. So this is the destroy set. It decreased the enemy max HP by 40% of the damage dealt. So if your champion hits 100k, the boss's max HP will reduce by 40k. So I put my Iron Brago in it because he was doing a lot of damage. He's built with crit damage, crit rate. Oh, is that crit rate? I thought this was crit damage gauntlet. Damn, this is a bad build then. I need to change this to crit damage. Damn. Oh, maybe his crit rate was not high enough. That's why I put that crit rate. But originally when I started the Doom Tower normal, my Allure was the person with that set. My Allure was the person in that set. Because she's taking numerous turns doing her A1. But right now she's not in that set anymore. I use that for something else, for the Fire Knight. But you might want to put your Allure, your Amiga in a destroy set because they take numerous turns, they take hitting the boss, his max HP will be reduced, and you know they do a lot of damage. Amiga and Allure doesn't do a lot of damage, but because she hits 3 times, it will take a lot of time. Remember, it doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you get the job done. So your Allure, your Amiga, any other champion can be in a destroy set. Your decreased defense champion, of course, so you can do more damage is important. Your slow speed champion, I do not have a slow speed. No, I do. Stag Knight has a slow speed. So remember, Seal the Drake is in a negative affinity. So who else can do it in a slow speed? I mentioned one the other time. High Cartoon is also a champion you can put in your lead to do slow speed for you and also boost your own speed of your team. Let's start the fight. I think we have discussed enough strategy and how you can go about it. The waves, it's not a problem as usual. That's why I have one big AoE damage dealer here to not make the run too slow. Oh, I forgot something. No. Let's go back. End. No. You have to set your presets in this battle. If you're going to use an Allure or Amiga, you want them always decreasing the turn meter of the boss. So I have a preset right here set for Scarab already, and that's the team. And I have to set my Allure to not use any of her skills, because we just saw her use her A2 skill. And if she use A2 or A3 on the boss, turn meters are not being decreased. So I need her to only do her A1. The same thing with Amiga, I need him to always do his A1. Although if you have him in your destroy set, you might need him to do his lay to rest sometimes so you can decrease a lot of HP of the boss at a time. So these are the 2 presets I will set. Any other person can do whatever they want. But these 2 champions for my turn meters, you need the boss turn meter to be done all the time. Because once he gets a turn, you're in trouble. You remember that his A1 presses provoke and a lot of things he does. So I don't want him getting a turn. That's the whole purpose of this fight. The more difficult stages, he might get a turn once or twice, yes. especially with RNG, with you getting resisted. Sometimes he might get 1 or 2 turns, but we are trying to avoid that by all means necessary. So let's lock out all those skills. So our Lord uses only A1s. Why is my Stagnite so slow? He's supposed to be the one to place decrease defense first before everybody. I know why. Because my Allure and everybody are speed crazy. They are built with a lot of speed, so I use them in Fire Knight 24 and all that. So that's why they are going first before my Stagnite. You see Lodric's Falcon Heart, it's always placing that shield. That's his job. Just shield, shield, shield. When this champion was released, nobody knew he would be that useful in the game. And then one day, you're hearing that he is the king in this Scarab boss. The next videos that I'll release in this series will be shorter because they'll only feature one boss. This one is a little bit longer because each boss took me like 10 minutes to explain and do the run. So hopefully the next one will be just a short video about the boss and how I beat it and the teams you can use to beat him. That's what I'll put on this playlist. So make sure I remind you to subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you click the bell if you like this type of content on Raid Shadow Legends or other type of content I create. I have a free-to-play account where I give daily updates about a new account we're trying to take to Habitat. That's another series we have on the channel. And I'll be posting an update on that one this evening also because we are not trying to skip a day on the new year. So we are currently decreasing the turn meter of the boss. Amiga and Allure are doing the work. And you see the decreased max HP? That's the job of that artifact set. There are legendary champions or epic champions that have it in their skill. Woo, that's a big hit. So the purple bar has to reduce before we can start doing a lot of damage to the boss. So he's have a shield in front of him that we can kind of take down slowly. Allure just got a bunch of weak hits, but thank God for Amiga. She is negative affinity, that's why she keeps getting weak hits. So if you need to bring in 3 turn meter reducers in this battle, do it. I mean, you necessarily don't need a Stagnite, I guess. Maybe one of your turn meter champions can have a decreased defense. But whatever it takes to make sure this boss doesn't take a turn, do it. So you can finally bring down that purple shield bar. And now he's beginning to take more damage once the purple bar is being depleted. How did he get a turn? Shield. So I told you that was going to happen. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes one of your champion goes out of sync, loses the shield, and then hits the boss without a shield. And that's when he retaliates and counterattacks. It wasn't his turn. Turn meter was down, but one of my champions was too fast for Lodric. Lodric has to be the fastest in your team, or one of the fastest, for him to be able to keep those shield up. Don't make him slow and everybody takes a turn and they lose all their shield and he's sitting there waiting for his time to come. So that's my Scarab run. That's my run for these 3 bosses in the Doom Tower. Hard. If you like this video, let me know in the comments what you thought about this and what teams you're using to beat them. If you have any difficulties with these bosses as we go along, join the Discords. Post your team roster. Let's suggest champions to you if you are up for some champion coaching or some champion building or some guides on how you can beat him better. Let's get this done so we can finish Doom Tower hard together in this rotation 1 of the boss, which is easier. I'll see you guys in the next video later this evening for a Noob to Pro series. Later, guys.